Tomiyasu, chase Kulusevski all the way to the rest of the pitch. Two of them, we are what are these guys doing here? So sometimes you just have to do that extra bit. I think that's what Chelsea is lacking. Before we go, our Chelsea fans out there, support Transit TV. Our t-shirts are out. You DM us on Facebook and Instagram first. In all this, get us coaching coming. Like, you're right there. You're making a very good comment. I know coaches. I know I keep going back to Wenger, Ferguson, even for this porch that we have now. Coaches, the people like Ancelotti, beyond talent, beyond ability. Sometimes they put an arm around these players and deal with off-field issues that sometimes impedes them. I have an instance. I remember in those days, Van Persie went for national duty. There was an allegation of rape or something like that. Wenger called him, put him aside and said, hey, you need to get married so I can settle down and face your career. And that he did. Now, something like that, Ferguson will have stories of him and some other players.
Yes.
Now, and this is where I have problem with the coaches of nowadays. It looks like they are falling to the pressure of fans and, like you say, YouTube, pressure of just looking at players. Once you have a bad performance, they throw you and find another player. So there's no more input into, because when I will tell you that these players are first of all human beings before they are players. So you have to look at the human being, try to help the human being. And of course, once the human being is settled and okay, the player in him will come out. So Poch, I know it's just 1 year, but do you think Poch have done enough to help some of these? Because from what you guys have just said there, and we mentioned it earlier on, Chelsea has players who have potentials. And I know when you want to build a team, it takes a little bit of time. But if you're building something, if a coach has an idea, you will see his impact. Maybe it's not been perfected. I go back to Arsenal. I know they will say you're an Arsenal fan. I thought I came to Arsenal. This is not how Arsenal was playing. But immediately could see his impact. He saw that Arsenal was facing 35 shots on our goal in each game before I came in. I don't know if you remember Ogum. In every game, our people will be facing 25, 30 shots. At the time, Bellono was our best player in one season like that. That I came, you know what he did? So okay, with the players that we have, we can play the way I want to play. So he started by being compact, playing on the counter. And that was how he won the FA Cup the first season. Eventually, he started implementing what he wanted to do. So far, have you guys seen what Poch is trying to bring to Chelsea as a coach? Forget about the players.
Well, for me, I really okay. Okay, let me go.
Do you want to react to that?
Okay, go.
Okay, yeah, please. Before we, I just want to talk. Mudryk, Chelsea will be making a bad mistake by getting rid of Michael Mudryk. You see, players like that come at a premium. Speed in European football, in fact, speed in world football kills. If you have a player that has the kind of speed that guy has, you better use him. Theo Walcott was almost like headless chicken, but because of speed, he scored over 100 goals for Arsenal.
110.
110 goals. All you need at Chelsea is to use that boy, find a coach. Maybe Poch might be the man. Maybe they need to tell Poch, use this young man's speed, tell him how to position himself, inspire him. Yeah, he will be a potent weapon for Chelsea. This guy that you guys are ruling out like this, Nimi says there's no potential. I totally disagree.
Yeah, because one-on-one, he has the bravery to take on players.
He's skillful and he has speed. And his speed is the kind of speed. His speed is the kind of speed that he feels like he's gliding on the field. Right? He feels like he's not even touching the speed is not even touching the floor. So if Chelsea sell that guy, you will regret it.
Audience, I'm not a prophet, but for example, when the season started with preseason, we have a Chelsea group when we played Wrexham. Everybody was like, Nicholas Jackson. I told them, I said, hey, I watched this guy for 90 minutes. He lacks the basics of a true number 9. He's not a striker. He cannot be the main focus point. If you want to, be with this guy, rest on this guy, I bet you will not even finish top 6. Remember on the chart, I told you guys when we started that Chelsea will not come out top 6. We will not come out top 6. When what do you call this guy's name? I've forgotten this guy. The Chelsea fan, Badowski said we'll win the league. Mudryk, I watched Mudryk play. He lacks the technique. He lacks the common sense of what a player has at this stage. There's a difference between all those when we play on Saturday, the balls we play. There's some mistakes that you will make on that field, even on Saturday. People will say, this guy knows Sabi play ball. Or that time, if you saw Yomi was telling that guy, oh boy, are you sure he was getting mad? These are basics. Go watch Arsenal's second goal against Chelsea. Arsenal had a player on a kick. A typical player, they don't need to tell you, go to the line and wait, try to charge them. Mudryk was inside our box. There. These are some of the gaffes that this dude has. He's bereft of confidence. The stage is too big. But let me round up. Okay. It's not Mudryk's fault. Let's get this right. It's not Mudryk's fault that he was purchased for over 70, 75 million to 80 million pounds. It's not his fault. He has a good agent. He had a good agent. It's not his fault. Now he can't live up to that price tag. Look at Declan Rice, over 100 million. Who has come out to say, man, Declan Rice, we don't, he doesn't. He deserves that money. He has made Arsenal better. To me, what has you said give him done for 1.5 years? That guy has been given opportunity after opportunity. The output is still the same thing. A player that can't take a player one-on-one, a winger that can't take a player one-on-one, a winger that is beset of ideas, how many assists, how many goals in the ratio of games that he has played? Nothing. Lapses. So I think you do say if you like, Arsenal could come and buy him. That would be awesome. Come and take him off our hands as you took off Havertz.
I wish I'll take him. At this point, I'll take him.
For me, I don't think because I've seen potentials in Mudryk. I think he's more like what I see in him when he plays for Chelsea. It looks like he's absent-minded.
Yes.
When you go into a new job,
I'm saying. Yeah,
and you lose like the people in the media don't like you. You're unsure of yourself. You don't know what you would do, and they'll say you did this wrong. So all of a sudden, you become a moron. Unless you're asked to do something, you won't do it. So I think the boy is dealing with confidence issue. He looks like he's unsure of himself, but sometimes he looks very absent. But on a day, Mudryk has the skill to take on player one-on-one. He's one player that know all the few players that I've seen that have the ability to one-on-one stop the ball, dribble you, and go past. If he's in the mood, if you ask me.
Just to round up the point, I will stop here. He has failed under Potter. With Potter's system and tactics, he failed. Then they were like, oh, he's to give him till the end of the season. Lampard came. He failed. Go and listen to what Lampard said about Mudryk. Pochettino has come. He has failed. That is a sign of a player that, observe, ask yourself, why is it that Pochettino always mentions Mudryk's name in press conferences about the lapses we're having? Why is he always mentioning the boy lacks?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
The boy lacks.
I'm saying maybe backroom is being scapegoated because it's not the one that has failed. There are players that have failed all the way from even before Potter came. Okay, Chima was talking about Kukurera. You were defending him. I know Chima have been mentioning that name since the beginning of this season in Chelsea. So does it mean? So what I'm saying is that, and that's exactly what I'm saying. There is something about that boy and confidence in Chelsea. It looks as if he has arrived. Nobody has really. After that first game that he played badly. He lose and probably they just throw a bad without a day buffer.
I think that he is a kind of player that might probably grow through understudying people. I probably think he was thrown to the lion den at at a younger age. He wasn't allowed to. He was not groomed.
Exactly.
Oftentimes when a player of his nature gets to a big club, it's always good to look, understudy bigger players. My problem is I kind of felt like Chelsea's inability to have players that people will understudy. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have players that these young players should will look up to and understudy them and be grounded with. And that is why I'm crying about this. I'm crying about a Silva that is leaving. If Silva leaves, there no more person. Because
I couldn't agree more with you. This is exactly what I said last summer.
right.
The approach of getting rid of all those seasoned players. So people like Kante, I mentioned Kante specifically. Kante, if I got Kante in my club, he's the kind of player that should be there till he retires, just like Silva has been with Chelsea. There are people that will be there in the dressing room and will show these young people what it means to play for a club and how it's done, right? So the approach of going and changing the whole squad, filling it with young people and giving them 8-year, 7-year contracts, just pretty much tying up your whole thing.
And if you can give them a contract and you're willing to give them 2-3 years to learn, maybe that's a good plan. But if expect them to perform right away, like you mentioned, when we are doing preview of the big season before the season started, I also remember saying that if Silva is the best player in Chelsea ranks, then there's a problem. 39 years, 40. He's the best player in that team. Then what we are seeing now is not supposed to be a surprise. So I think to round up between Chima, between you and Nimi, so what do you expect Chelsea to do this summer? Going into next season to redeem this the situation they're in right now.
Well, the game is always the season is always almost ended. It's so unfortunate that you can't see positiveness very close. What I'm saying, you can't see changes inside. If the likes of Silva is going, that defense will get more porous. Nkunku, I don't know, Chelsea has been very, very unlucky with buying players. We buy players that, because I've watched Nkunku. Nkunku is a complete striker. He scores goal. If he has the opportunity, most of these goals that Jackson been losing, Nkunku will convert it at ease. So I still have these fears, because where are we going to start? If you're buying defenders, this Chelsea, this Babadash of a guy in Chelsea, I don't like. When I look at him, I shake my head. Is it this young?
It's Babadash.
It's Badia. He's talking about Badia's Villa. Badia's
So when I look at him, he is not stable. He is not. Even when I look at some of our local or our Eagles players that can, be very strong than him. When Destiny was still Destiny is better than him. I'm telling you, for real. I look at, because there are some lousy mistakes that you see him make. I would just shake my head for a professional player. Who is we lost Antonio to Real Madrid. Silva is going. Rudiger to Real Madrid. These are mature defenders that should have groomed these boys. So who is going to groom the defenders? Nobody. In the midfield, who is going to groom them? Nobody. In the attack, who is going to groom them? Nobody. So nobody. There's no hope for me. I mean, Nimi, except you have any hope.
And I mentioned that a few weeks ago that just like Jorginho now, as finished as people think he is, if put Jorginho in that Chelsea midfield, the things will be different.
It will change a lot of things. That's true.
Will be different. I said it a few weeks ago that if Chelsea know what is good, they should go and price him out of Arsenal because go and beg him and bring him back. Because if you drop Jorginho between what's this boy's name?
Caicedo.
Caicedo, Enzo, Gallagher. That
He will
midfield
tie everything together.
there will be structure in that midfield, you know.
Yeah.
And another thing too is beyond talent, beyond structure, beyond system. There's one thing that if you watch teams that are up there this period, what they have is the discipline of work, attitude. And this is what, for me, the biggest thing that has failed Chelsea this season. Because from what we have seen, Chelsea has created chances, but there's no discipline to work. If you're playing against City, for you to win City, you have to work hard. City doesn't just win you because they are better than you. No, they actually work hard. Arsenal in the last 2-3 seasons, the same thing. If you're an Arsenal player now and you're not a hard worker, you can't get into the team. You cannot. Because anybody can control the ball, anybody can make a pass. But when your team actually needs to, when you turn over possession, are you willing to suffer to sprint 30 yards to help your team, get back that ball? If you go to Leverkusen, the way they are playing, the same thing. Real Madrid, the same thing. Real Madrid came to England and they suffered for 115 minutes and went home with the fixture because they worked hard. So I think Chelsea players, most of them are not willing, and maybe because they are young, like Mudryk. The reason why that guy will not play for Chelsea week in, week out, if you watch him critically, it only comes to life when he's on the ball. After that, he wouldn't even know he's on the pitch. He's not willing to work. So, and this is where I'll still bring Poch in. He needs to start that culture of letting these players know if he's how to play football, there are so many people out there that can play. But what makes you a professional footballer is to identify and know when you need to work for the team, when you need to suffer, when you need to. On Sunday, Arsenal was, I know we're going to go to Arsenal. Arsenal, Tottenham. There was one time I saw Tomiyasu chase Kulusevski all the way to the rest of the pitch. Two of them, we are what are these guys doing here? So sometimes you just have to do that extra bit. I think that's what Chelsea is lacking. Before we go, our Chelsea fans out there, support Transit TV. Our t-shirts are out. You DM us on Facebook and Instagram. For summer, we have these tumblers that you can use, to take your walk. For those who have fitness programs this summer, DM us on Facebook and Instagram and get your copy. Support what we are doing. Transit TV, so can continue to give you the content.
Is there anyone with polo?
We also have the white color for those who like white in the t-shirts.
Reg.
I
say, is there those t-shirts? Is there anyone that has polo that has polo on them?
Polo neck? No, not yet.
Polo neck. Okay.
Yeah, this is what we have for now.